Thank you, everybody. Good morning again. We had to move it at least around 5 minutes to allow additional guests to come through and be settled. Welcome to Devon. Welcome to Transnet Engineering. Welcome to Transnet. As a matter of process, I need just to acknowledge the presence of our shareholder, the Department of Transport, the chairperson of Transnet Board, our group chief executive and an EXCO team, TU EXCO team, our clients, and the newly appointed train operating companies, members of the press, the Devon plant management team with the labor, and everybody else who decided to join us on this very beautiful occasion today. Thank you for coming through. As noting that we need to take right now is we have a strict and really tough rules around here in our plants. We are in a heavy engineering environment. So one of the caution that we want everybody to be aware of is that the utilization of cell phones in a workshop when we're doing a round is going to be prohibited. If you want to make cell calls, please go outside the plant and make calls. We're aware that we really have extremely important people in this room, and you are always in demand, so please just adhere to that. It will come out through, and everybody who's going to be speaking about that, because there's a lot of near misses with people on their cell phones in our workshop as a heavy engineering environment. I'm going to allow us just to do one protocol, which is extremely important for us, which is the safety part. Bongi, can you please assist us? Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Bongi Mpongwana. I will be taking you through the safety and emergency protocols of the plant, starting with this boardroom. Let me start by indicating that we are not planning any emergency drills today. So any emergency sound that we hear, then it will mean it is an emergency. So in an event that an emergency occurs, please remain calm. Take your personal belongings if it's possible, but if not possible, not. And then the ladies, I'm hoping there's no one that is wearing high heels, but if there's anyone, so please take them off. You will evacuate through the door behind you, and you will walk down the stairs. You will pass the lift. Please do not use the lift. You will go downstairs, down the steps, and you will evacuate at the back. And you will go towards the clinic. There is another building just behind me. So that is our emergency place where we are going to be taking the roll call. So there will be an attendance register that is doing rounds. We are going to use that attendance register as a roll call. So I know as part of the program there is going to be a plant walkabout. During that, in each and every one of our sections, like the program director is indicating, we are in a heavy environment in terms of our engineering controls. So there will be someone that is going to be taking through the risks in each and every one of the areas that we are going to be visiting. So please adhere to those rules. So you are going to be walking in the walkways. And cell phones, I'm not going to elaborate much on that. They are not allowed in our workshops. And when you do come back into this venue, PPE is already arranged in the seats that you are actually sitting in. There are reflector vests. So that is the PPE that you are utilizing. And in front of you, there is earplugs because some of the areas are noise zones. So those earplugs are going to be utilized in those areas. And safety boots are a requirement, or alternatively closed shoes, to make sure that you don't injure yourselves as you are working in the plant. Thank you, Program Director.
Thank you, Bonge. I think I've been advised that there's a couple of people who need to leave early today, so I'm going to try to run through the program as quickly as I am. The most important part of this session today doesn't happen in this boardroom, it happens down there. So I'm going to ask to call our Chief Executive for Transnet Engineering just to set the tone in terms of why we're here and who we are. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Besisiphiwe Mabunda. I am the Chief Executive for Transnet Engineering. Warm greetings to everyone, but specifically to the Chairman of the Board, Dr. Andile Sanu, to the Group Chief Executive, Advocate Michelle Phillips, to the Group Chief Operating Officer, my boss in particular, Mr. Soli Litswalo, to the Transnet leadership that is here, our customers, our partner, Alstom, with a specific mention of the Managing Director for the Southern African region, Mr. Tristan Limansne, and train operating companies, who I would like to once again congratulate you on having been assigned the slots. We are definitely looking forward to seeing you start operating. To the media that is joining us this morning. And finally, but not least, a special greeting and acknowledgement to the 535 women and men who are behind the great work that we are here to celebrate today. We are honored and excited to be hosting you today to witness this long-standing milestone. As you are all aware, this journey commenced at least more than 10 years ago, so we've been at it for quite a bit. I officially welcome you to the Transnet Engineering Durban plant. I'm not sure how many of you know, but we actually have 6 plants around the country. They are quite aged. This one in particular is 51 years old, so you are welcome to this plant. I also just want to extend an apology for the changes in terms of dates that we have had. Initially, this event was meant to have taken place on the 30th, and then we had a special request by the minister to be part of the celebration, and her officers then gave us an alternative date, which is today. And unfortunately, those of you who know and those of you who even drive, especially in Joburg, you would have experienced that there's some big event happening, which is the G20. So the presidency has asked that all the ministers actually join him in terms of hosting that event. So as a result, our minister is not going to be able to join us. We've then been given the green light to proceed without her. She has committed to make a visit later on. We are hoping to maybe get her here when we are delivering the very last Locomotive 240. So we'll see if we do achieve that. This journey that we are on started with Bombardier Transportation initially as our strategic OEM. Bombardier was later acquired by Alstom, which is why now we are in this partnership with Alstom. This journey has not been without challenges. There's been many setbacks that we've encountered and many storms that we've had to weather, include, of course, all of us, the COVID-19 pandemic and the KwaZulu-Natal floods, and they've been very bad 2 years in particular. So that really was a major setback for us. There's also been various other disruptions that have impacted the production timelines. Amidst all of these, there was a strong collaboration and commitment between the three parties involved. That is ourselves as Transnet Engineering, Transnet Freight Rail, who is the main customer in terms of the delivery of these units, and then of course our partner, Alstom. Together we forged ahead amidst all of these challenges, steadily ensuring that we deliver on the agreed target of the 240 locomotives. The commitment and the work that we've done to date has resulted in the delivery of 187 locomotives to the client. We've assembled over 200 of these 23E locomotives out of the 240 that has been ordered. The significant milestone can obviously not be noticed. It requires that we stop, we acknowledge, and we celebrate, and hence why we are all here today. The long-standing commitment from Alstom has not only strengthened the partnership between Alstom and Transnet, but also has played a pivotal role in advancing South Africa's industrial and economic landscape. Through sustained investment and collaboration, this project has enhanced local manufacturing capabilities, creating significant employment opportunities and supporting job retention within the sector. As I indicated when I was greeting, we have in particular in this plant 535 men and women who are working on this project. The commitment has enabled the transfer of technical skills as well as knowledge, fostering a skilled workforce that contributes to the country's economic participation. Furthermore, our supplier development initiatives have empowered local businesses, expanded the domestic supply chain, and stimulated growth among small and medium enterprises. Some of these details will be shared in the presentation that we are going to do. Collectively, these efforts have contributed to modernizing South Africa's freight rail fleet, while driving inclusive economic development and strengthening the competitiveness of the local rail industry. Our commitment over the years has not only strengthened our strategic relationship, but has also driven transformation impact across South Africa's rail sector. Through deliberate efforts to promote gender parity, we have ensured that women are meaningfully represented in technical and leadership roles. I guess I'm a prime example of that. This has fostered diversity and inclusion in an industry that traditionally was very much male-dominated. The initiatives have supported job retention, skills development, equipping employees with advanced competences that contribute to long-term career growth. Beyond direct employment, our investment has stimulated economic participation by integrating local suppliers into our value chain. Again, we will share, and we are open enough to even share the names of some of the suppliers that we have impacted from a local content perspective. Combined, these actions have modernized the country's freight rail while advancing inclusive economic development and positioning South Africa as a competitive player in global rolling stock manufacturing. So you don't need to go out there to the world globally. If you're looking for rolling stock, we are right here. Our manufacturing general manager, Mr. Tshwanel Tswai, as well as the Alstom MD, Mr. Tristan Limaz, will share with you in their presentation more details on this project and our journey to date. In addition, the plant tour, post the formalities, will provide a broader perspective of this successful joint effort between TE, TFR, and Alstom. If I may say so myself, the plant is quite impressive. It was not always like that. We did a lot of work last year when I came on board to rearrange the layout of the plant, to improve throughput in terms of the delivery, and really what you will see out there, for me, it is world-class. We are honored by your presence at this milestone celebration. Engineering excellence is not just an aspiration. For Transnet Engineering, engineering excellence is a reality. This is clearly demonstrated by this plant, its people, and the quality of the locomotives that we are busy delivering. Do enjoy the rest of the event. The TE and Alstom team and myself, we are here for the whole day. So if you have any questions, we will be happy to answer those questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Bessie. The livelihood of the 535 men and women on the shop floor right now is in the hands of all the eminent clients, the new TOCs, to create continuity in our manufacturing. So after this session, I'll appreciate pre-orders of the 23Es so that we can start planning with Alstom ASAP. I want to ask Zach Brazek, our General Manager of Manufacturing and Maritime, to take us through the journey that we have had so far, and immediately that we'll play a video just to showcase some of the engineering excellence we have in our assembly plant. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Zach Tswanelo. I'm the General Manager for Manufacturing and Maritime. I just want to welcome everybody here this morning. All protocol observed. I remember the chairman was sitting across there, and Bessie was sitting next to him, and I was seated across and Colin. And the chairman said, "When are you celebrating the milestone?" And you were all just thinking, should we do it? Should we not do it? But it's happening. And thank you, Chair, and thank you for joining us today. And really, we appreciate you for being here. Michelle, thank you. Futsoli, thank you. Tristan, thank you. And everybody else, the group EXCO, TE EXCO, thank you guys for joining, and all TOCs. And also, we want to welcome all the media here today. Thank you so much. So I will take you through the little bit of a journey. I am not going to be very long. The presentation can be shared if it's you required to. We want to go through a few slides. Let's go to this next slide. This is the overview of TE. In TE, what do we really do? Transnet Engineering, we do the maintenance, we repair, we do the upgrades, the conversion of locomotive of the rolling stock. If should you need, we are here and available. We work on wagons, work on locomotives. We've got a couple of plants which I'll be going into. We've got 7,894 employees around the country. We've got 147 depots that we are servicing. I'll go into it on the next slide. We also pride ourselves with a very good asset base. We can see how much has been spent on the assets just to make sure that we are able to do what we're supposed to do. We are not where we will want to be, but as the CEO said, this is one of the best depots that we have. We've done so much improvement into the depot to make sure that we deliver. Into this next slide, you will see our roadmap, or where we are. When we want to find us, where do you find us? For the TOCs that have newly come on board, this is how it looks like, your South Africa map look like. Where do we run? Where do we have main depots and the sub depots? You can also see where the 3,000 kV electrified, 25 kV where it's running. And at the bottom here, you'll realize along Saldanha and Sishen, we run the 50 kV. So that's where all the depots are. It will be available on the presentation. Presentation will be shared with you, but that's where basically all the plants they are. The next slide will then show you the main 6 plants that we refer to, which Devon plant is one of them. You will see it on the second, on the right-hand side. It's Devon plant. At the bottom, we've showed you what those abbreviations means. you've got fabrication, you've got foundry, you've got wagons, you've got ports, business, you've got the locomotive and the coaches. So you will see which plant is doing what. And if you get to Bloemfontein, we just celebrated, this is Bloemfontein. Yesterday, we have released or did last wagon. We had order that was given to us by TFR. We've completed. We deliver on our promise, and we make sure that it comes. Don't they deserve a clap? Thank you. So we all around the country, this is what you'll see, and all where we are visible. Next slide, you'll then see, this is what the CE spoke to. At the bottom, right at the bottom, is the inception of the contract that we went to with Bombardier at that stage. There were issues that came. In 2020, you will all remember, we were hit by COVID. COVID did not just hit certain areas, but it hit everybody. And that created a setback into many businesses, which resulted in some delays as well. But then as we are recovering from that, we were then hit by the floods in Devon here. I remember we were all here trying to assist Devon. It was so devastating. You will realize I was standing inside the workshop, and it will show a watermark of 2 meters. And at night, before, we had employees that were working at night. We saw them climbing on top of the wagons and locomotives. Today we can laugh about it because there was no casualties at that moment, but it looks so devastated. So even today, we're still trying to put machines back together. Some OEMs that are working on these machines, some of them are still battling even today to get some of these machines back into service. This is how devastating it was. So we continued and have a resettlement and reset again together ourselves, TFR and Alstom. And we started again when our CE came, and she made sure that Zach, you will, and your team deliver. Together with Tristan, we met again in this boardroom, outlined what needed to be done, and we started ramping up. That means bringing more people on board, making sure that we are aligned, rearrange some machines, rearrange the activities, rearrange some lines, and making sure that we deliver. At that time, I think when she came, it was about only 4 locomotives, if not less. But if you walk in today, you'll see the difference that ramp up has made. Into the next slide. Next slide talks to the deliveries and the plan. If you look from since 2017, 2018, you'll see the numbers are there. But I want to bring to your attention last year. Last year is the only time when we came close to what we promised. And that is after we've made all the effort to put everything together, making sure that we refocus and make sure that we push. So on the top right, you will see that out of 240, like as the CE has said, 187 is already in operation. The other locomotives are in between the service, testing, and making sure that they will be delivered to the client as well. This year we've planned, right below, we've planned 55 locomotives. So far we've delivered 29, there's 26 there when we did the presentation, but the team has worked even more to make sure that there's more deliveries as we speak. So this month alone, they've planned to deliver 10 locomotives in 1 month. So it is a quite achievement in the last 2 years, and we've shown that we can do it together with Alstom and the TFR. At the end of this financial year, we will be left with 29 locomotives. I just want to bring it to your attention that the next slides will then impact that. We are planning to complete this project in June. Next slide talks to what was the impact of what we are doing here. You will realize 354 people who were sitting at home were recalled to come to work. That was a job creation. 181, a job retention. And you can see number of ladies. If you look here, it's no longer that imbalance. You can see it's very close. We've got 222 ladies that are in there. You'll also realize, we put it up here, the skilled, unskilled, it's 1, semi-skilled 200, skilled, which is your technicians, you'll see that 327. We then also show that specialist and management is only 7. So we've spent more onto the bargaining unit, more than anything else. As you can see it, as it goes up each and every year, how we've brought in people. The key year was the 2024, when the whole setup and changes changed. You'll realize only 1% was management, 99% is the bargaining. And then that's how this project it's all about. In the next slide, I'm going through, you'll have the presentation. Next slide talks to your spend. The spend, yes, you will realize how much we spend locally, and we made sure that we utilize companies. We're not even ashamed to put them. You'll see at the top, machining and engineering services, those are the companies. At the bottom, right bottom, you'll realize the bogie assembly material, it was supplied by those companies. And at the right of that, the raw steel. And if you look right here, you'll see how much money has been spent on the whole entire project. And the green shows your spend on just the raw material. So we take steel, we cut it. This is what we call a bogie. It's not the golf one. This is the bogie that goes under the locomotive. So you will see we get a sheet metal, we cut it, we fabricate it together, we make it look like something like that. You will see it as you walk the floor. And the next slide is a spend from our colleagues, the Alstom that we are together with. I know Tristan will be talking later on, but this is how they have spent. And I've always said, this is with Alstom. Most of the OEMs we've worked with, they will do 3 or 4 or 10 or 20 locomotives abroad, then they bring the whole loco somewhere here. But with this locomotive, it's a complete local locomotives. It started in the country. Everything was here. No loco that was built overseas and brought here. This loco is the only loco that was totally, completely built here. So you'll see there's also invested a lot. All these OEMs that you see around, there are suppliers that are supplying them for different material. You can see the South African flag. Are we not proud of this? This is so amazing. And this comes with industrialization, capacity and capability of building. They transfer the technology to us as well. They do skill development. They've created jobs. You can see it at the bottom there, around 380 direct, 2,065 indirect local jobs that were created, as also small businesses that they've done. On the next slide is quite interesting. I hope the TOCs are listening to this one. This is one of the best performing locomotives. To look at the performance currently, you'll see this, we're running around 88%, even less than that. This loco is currently performing at 98%. Thank you. It has traveled about 58.3 million kilometers. And also the reliability. Instead of, we measure it at 15, and you can see it's currently running at 7 and even below that. This is one of the best performing locomotive. And we are saying the line is still open. The line is still operational. Whoever is looking forward to, from the TOCs, who's looking forward to say, I want to invest, this is one of the best locomotives that you can invest in. With that, I want to close, and I want to thank you for coming today. And this is our slide. All done. Thank you.
This is more than engineering. It is a proudly South African story. A story built on passion, precision, and perseverance. A story of people, the men and women of Transnet Engineering standing tall at the tail end of a decade-long journey to build South Africa's modern marvel, the 23E Locomotive. Since 2014, Transnet Engineering, in partnership with Alstom, has transformed ambition into achievement, creating one of the most powerful locomotives ever built on African soil. Today, the 23E proudly holds its place as the best performing locomotive in South Africa's rolling stock fleet. At the heart of this success are over 350 young tradesmen, South Africa's next generation engineers, innovators and dreamers. Every day, these bright, determined hands turn raw steel plates into the beating heart of a locomotive that can compete with the best in the world. From advanced milling operations to EN 15085 certified welding and ISO 3834 manufacturing standards, this is craftsmanship and technology in perfect harmony. The tri-axle frame, also known as the Coco frame, is the strength beneath the 23E. It carries 3 traction combo sets, each capable of generating an astonishing 3 megawatts of force. Together, they form a powerhouse that will help Transnet deliver on its 184 million ton freight commitment to South Africa. Inside the plant, precision meets rhythm. Our electrical fitters outfit each locomotive in just 6 days, progressing across 9 mainline stations, each dedicated to a different stage of perfection. From engine room fitment to cab interior assembly, all wiring is prepared in-house, with teams rotating on a 24-hour, 5-day shift, ensuring that every connection, every bolt, every test meets the uncompromising standards of world-class performance. Before any locomotive leaves the line, it undergoes rigorous component and quality testing, culminating in live trials at both 3 kV and 25 kV. Only then is it ready to roll. A masterpiece of engineering precision and national pride. This is what resilience looks like, what progress feels like, what South African excellence sounds like. The 23E Locomotive. Forged in pride, powered by purpose, and driven by the hands of a nation united in motion. Transnet Engineering. Driving performance, shaping the future, and keeping South Africa on track to greatness. When Transnet works, South Africa thrives.
When Transnet works, South Africa thrives. We can only work when you give us those orders. Ladies and gentlemen, continuous improvement is inevitable. We're not perfect, but we're working towards perfection, and we'll continue doing that with the help of you as our partners. So we really, really need you. We're open for business. Next, I'm going to ask a representative from Alstom to come through and make their remarks. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Tristan Leman, and I'm the Managing Director for Alstom in South Africa. I want to start by acknowledging the presence of the Chairman of the Board of Directors of Transnet, the Group CEO, the Group CFO, the Executive Team of Transnet, and Bessie, the CEO of Transnet Engineering. I have not seen Russell, the CEO of TFR, but I want to acknowledge him, and all the executives in the room. Dear, we also have suppliers and TOCs in the rooms. Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, partners, and dare I say, dear friends for most of you, warm welcome. Welcome also to the members of the media. We're assembled today to celebrate what's a landmark achievement in South Africa's rail history. And it's the delivery of locomotive number 200 of the TRAXX 23E type to Transnet Freight Rail. It's an immense pleasure and honor that you give Alstom a chance to share a few words, and we acknowledge that. So yes, 200 locos is a huge, beautiful number, and you should be very proud of it. Above and beyond the number, what we want to see is also what can be accomplished when the rail team of South Africa comes together. And I think we have to cherish this time. We're witnessing a time in South Africa Rail when industry leaders, both public and private, local suppliers, dedicated teams, have decided to unite behind a shared vision and are ruthlessly pursuing success, day in and day out. We are also here because of the vision that started about a decade ago. And it's been mentioned before, but it's important to remind where we come from. And at the time, about 2013-14, Transnet, the country and the province, decided to award the contract to then Bombardier. And back then, the premise was, of course, to deliver rolling stock and to make locomotives. But it was more than that. And it was to create employment, build local skills, establish a local supply chain that was dependable, and really, in a nutshell, create an ecosystem which benefits would have a ripple effect and a multiplier effect on the whole South African economy, or vast parts of that economy. We have to commend the decision makers at the time for having the courage of that vision, and we're honored to give it some substance today. The past to this day, it's been defined by collaboration, perseverance, and unwavering commitment to excellence. And I see that in all your faces. Of course, we've experienced crisis, we've experienced success, we've been both very disappointed, including at our own performance, and utterly satisfied at other times. But I think we've always bounced back to make the next loco and pursue the next continuous improvement. And that's not just on the loco, also in the field of employee safety and systems improvement, which are the backbone of why we make these locos. Together with Alstom, Transnet Group, Transnet Engineering, TFR, and the network of South African suppliers, we've driven innovation, operational excellence, and sustainable growth. Now, in South Africa, you only reach days like today with a strong anchoring with local and a supply chain strength. As we all know, more than 60% of this locomotive is South African. That's a number. But it's also, if you take the world stage, this is one of the most local locomotives there is. This 23E, proudly South African, it has the flag on the locomotive, is on par with what you might see in China, in India, or Kazakhstan, which are extremely proactive on local development. Major components are manufactured locally. The car body is made here, the propulsion systems is made in South Africa, the traction converter systems. These are complex South African systems. They've been transferred to the country and they work well. The supply chain involves more than 100 direct vendors and 120 supporting suppliers. And of course, with such a high number of partners, you are going to run into some interesting moments of doubt and challenge. And I want to share with you one of them, because about a year ago, it was in September of last year, we were in this very room, and TE had been kind enough to lend Alstom the room for a Suppliers Day. So as you all know, a Suppliers Day is a day when you convene all of your suppliers, you get them in a room, and you talk about partnerships and opportunities in the future. But usually in a good supplier's day, and I look at Colette, you also have a message that you give to your dear suppliers. So that day, the message was really welcome, and get your ducks in order, because we are going to pursue massively over the next 12 months. And essentially, the suppliers, they came to this room, they listened to us politely, and we were telling them that the ramp up was imminent. Now, we had our little pep talk, and when the dust settled, a few owners of the suppliers came to me on the side, and they were very polite, but they told me, this is interesting, and of course we want to be on board. This is also the third time you're telling us about a ramp up that's imminent. So we want to kind of see the proof in the pudding. And is this one for real? Is this the real one? I tried to convince it was the real one, and thankfully the suppliers played along, and this is where we are today. In September 2024, this factory output 3 locomotives. In October 2024, it was 4, and in November it was 5, and since then there have been hits of 6, and we just heard that this month is going to be 10. For TFR and the industry partners, the TRAXX 23E fleet delivers, as we saw, high reliability and low fault rates, which really means, in real terms, efficient cargo flows for mining, for agriculture, and manufacturing. And Alstom's local footprint in South Africa on manufacturing and maintenance enables rapid access to spare parts for these locomotives and technical support, which will mean reducing downtime and operating costs. While we're on the product, allow me to highlight a few technical specificities of the locomotive. First, we think it's world-class engineering, and it was designed specifically for South Africa's very demanding freight corridors. We are in a harsh environment. It's got dual voltage capability, both 25 kV and 3 kV. If you're more of a visual and color person, these are the red and the black lines on Zach's previous chart. But it's got that agility, and I think that makes it appealing for TOCs going forward. It's got a high traction power. It's got a robust 22-ton axle load. It can run up to 100 kilometers per hour. That's almost the speed of Praza's passenger train. And it's got advanced derailment protection, although we all know collectively we need to be better at that. Multiple unit operation for hauling extra long, very heavy trains and wagons. In terms of fleet performance, I won't come back to it. I just want to put color on the numbers. 98% availability really means that you get a little more than 1 fault every 1,000,000 kilometers. Okay? The locomotives runs 1,000,000 kilometers, and it's going to have 1 fault. It's drastically below the contractual requirements. Thankfully, that's not what we're after. We're after making the best locomotive. The figure was also mentioned that this fleet has accumulated 58 million kilometers of distance. It's a lot of kilometers. If you think of this as round trips between here and the moon, it's 90 of those trips. So the loco can't fly yet, but the scale is interesting. It's really gone a lot of distance. And if you prefer to think of it as, distance between here and Durban and Cape Town, it's about 21,000 of those trips, round trips. So the impact of Alstom's investment on this project is also felt in skills development. We've hosted numerous training programs across South Africa, Germany, Switzerland, France, and other countries. And we've tried our best to build expertise in the technical and operational fields, and also quality, safety, and others. The skilling up efforts obviously deepen and strengthen the local talent pool, and obviously that paves the way for future generations, for the people who will be after us. and these generations of rail professionals, that also plays into the DOT's narrative of choose rail as a career, which we want to be a part of. As we celebrate the milestone of Loco 200, I want to reaffirm without any doubt Alstom's dedication to supporting South Africa, vision for a modern and inclusive rail sector. We're very excited to enrich our partnerships with Transnet and with other industry stakeholders. And frankly, you can count on our very best or utmost intensity. And I know you will hold us accountable to the world-class performance that you've purchased. A special note for the wonderful teams of Transnet TFR, TE, and Alstom in Durban, Boksburg, and Bunye. I don't think we could say anything without talking about the people making this locomotive. On our side, it's roughly 450 men and women who are involved in this program, a lot of them from loco number 1. And when you walk the floors in Boksburg or in Bunye, people will tell you at what loco number they joined the company. And I can tell you, all of them want to be there for Loco 240. Special note to them, you've been on an amazing run over the past year. We see you work hard, we see you work together to craft a beautiful locomotive. You're focused on the detail, you shoot for excellence, and you're deeply honest with each other when times get tough. Your work matters a ton because it produces the results that South Africa needs, and the logistics sector in particular. And frankly, when the dust settles and all is said and done, you will look back at today with pride and satisfaction that you wrote a glorious chapter in the South African rail history books. In closing, I want to thank all of our partners, suppliers, and teams whose grit and commitment have made this achievement possible. The next few years are ripe with opportunity, and with continued reforms, investment, and deepening collaboration, South Africa's railways are set to become the backbone of a modern, sustainable economy. Thank you, and congratulations again to everyone.
Thank you very much, Tristan. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Reginald. My critical KPI that the TE Exco team gave me is go form strategic partnership, sign contracts, get South Africa working. So I'm going to point out Johnny Smith, who is not here yet. Okay. Oh, Johnny, I see you now. You're not helping me achieve my KPIs because you're not making South Africa working. So when we're done here, there's an expectation, Johnny. All right, the ultimate client, the enabler of why we're here today, Transnet Freight Rail, will make remarks through Ms. Queen. Thank you.
Good morning. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen in the room once more. Thank you for acknowledging. Yeah. So special greetings to Dr. Andy Desango, the chairperson of the board, Ms. Advocate Michelle, Sis Bessie, Botsoli, the entire team from Group, Alstom, TE, Sis Bessie, thank you very much. You know, in days like this in Zulu, we normally go like, li, 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 but I'm not going to do it today because it comes from the heart. Yes, but I'll do it down there. You're going to give me a chance because those are the hands that were touching this. But it's fine. So, team, I'm here just representing my Mr. Russell Bikers. And unfortunately, I think with the clash and the changes of dates today and tomorrow and this week, they are busy with the stretch session. So even my boss could not be here. So I received the call from Russell yesterday at 1400. Tomorrow you go to Devon. Okay, Russell, what am I doing in Devon? No, you are the operator. But I want you to read what is in my heart for the team. So I'll try and go through it very quickly. But he said, this is not the message. This is what is in his heart. So please allow me to read his heart to you very quickly. I'll be very quick. So he said, I must say, today we mark a defining moment in Transnet Freight Rail's journey, the successful building and deployment of these 23 E-class locomotives. This milestone is more than an engineering accomplishment. It is a bold declaration of what South Africans can achieve when we decide to build and to collaborate and to achieve together. He then quoted, in 1962, President John Kennedy, I quote, stood before the world, reminded humanity that great nations do not choose the easy path. They choose the necessary path. And that's what this team has done. He then said, this calls now for courage, unity, and purpose. And this is what we are here to echo today. Then the question is, what does this 23E locomotive mean to me, to the business unit, to TFR? These 23Es, we find them in coal export. We find them in MMC, we're running chrome from Rustenburg. We find them in manganese and domestic iron ore. And yes, let me just share my experience, Zach, just to attest to your story. The nice part and what I've noticed and which was an exciting moment, is when you listen to a conversation between a technician and a driver, exchanging information, the experience of this locomotive, and what they think they must improve. It's such a local, flowing conversation. Nobody says, let me go and consult. They go and consult, they come back. They come to our symposiums to give us feedback on this performance of these locomotives. So in continuation of my boss's heart, he says, these locomotives has restored reliability to the key corridors, your coal, your MMC, your domestic. And then he says, this has improved our turnaround times, allowing us to move more tons with confidence. This has expanded capacity, meeting customer demand with renewed strength and credibility. This has reduced failures and delays, strengthening the backbone of our South African economy. I can attest to this. Back in the days where you were going into the customer meeting and you go in and you said, do you have locomotives? And we said, yes, we do. Then we go back to base. Then we say, yes, we want locomotives. But now we go with confidence. We look the customer in the face and say, yes, we will deliver. I was just sharing offline with Tristan to say, it is unbelievable that we reach a moment where you wake up on Monday morning and the customer says, well done for last week's delivery. It is one of those rare moments. So we can give the team a round of applause. So let me finish. So he then gets to say, great achievements are not just the accomplishment of a few, but a national effort. The same it is true for this milestone. Every locomotive built by your team, Zach, every test conducted, every component installed, and every kilometer traveled delivered an additional ton for the country. And yes, all represented shared victory, the victory of skills, perseverance, and national commitment. There is a new saying, and I saw this saying coming after the birth of the 23Es. You know, that one that says, when Transnet works, South Africa thrives. Then what does this mean? It means the mines are exporting more. The ports are receiving more. We have created jobs. In your presentation, I've seen that, and I'm quite impressed because I was only looking at it from the mine side. Now my statement is even true. So thank you very much for that. The revenue flows into the country and the communities that depend on us. You know, when you get paid, how many people you pay after that. We have seen that coming up. And we are proud to say, now you walk in town with your Transnet vest, they ask you, are you working for Transnet? Yes, I'm working for Transnet. Without any doubts, without any fear, because you are enabled. You are enabled to deliver. So this is how we feel today. Hence, I said, when we get there, we'll do those things to show the team how much we appreciate. So a vote of thanks goes to the team that is in the room, to every engineer, every technician, every artisan, every project leader, every operational team and suppliers, and all the stakeholders that contributed to this achievement. This has proven that South Africa can still build, can still innovate, and we can still rise. I thank you.
Thank you, Queen. I think Johnny is more convinced now. So, Johnny, the group chief executive of Transnet will tell you again why you're supposed to partner with us. The importance of private sector partnership with Transnet. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Advocate Michelle Phillips.
So, Johnny knows he must trust me. Johnny, it's been a long time, and now you're seeing it for real. And I think to all the private operators as well. It's good to be here. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to stand on the protocol previously observed. A special welcome, Chairman, to this great occasion, and of course our partners, the team from Alstom. So, yeah, when Transnet works, South Africa thrives. Let there be no doubt. We undertook a journey some 2 years ago, and we were very clear about what it is that we wanted to deliver. And I'm very proud to be standing here. It's always good, you know, when you say and it gets done. Yeah. We were here, was it in April, with the portfolio committee. And people were shocked at what is happening in this plant. And we indicated, well, there's a lot more to come. And even then, I wanted to celebrate, and it was like the team was telling me, wait, be patient. Number 200 is the number. So I'm extremely proud, but thank you very much, and thank you for having us. So, number 200, 23E Locomotive. Of course, part of 240 units that we have procured as part of our fleet renewal program. I'm not going to go into the history of too much, and I'm not going to go into the challenges, etc., that Transnet has been experiencing over the past few years. I really want, and I've said to the team, certainly I would want my leadership, I would want to be remembered for celebrating every win, no matter how small. Important to celebrate we have a group of people outside of the numbers in TE, in Transnet, 50,000 people who on a daily basis need to be motivated and need to be reminded of the role that they play in the economy of this country and in the growth of this country. I say to my people all the time, everybody works. If you are confused, we will unconfuse you. But we are very clear about what it is and what our role is in this organization and in this country. So, you know, for me, it's about building the country. And whoever wants to come along for that ride, you are welcome. If we find that you are going to be a challenge for us in building the country, trust me, we will deal with you in a very nice way. But we are here, and we are committed to build South Africa, okay? And I'm very glad, because I mean, this is why I'm supposed to speak to you about, is about our collaboration. All of this is about relationships, the positive relationships that we have started building and that we will continue to build to improve and to grow the economy of the country. So through ongoing structural reforms, private sector partnerships, massive investment in the modernization of key infrastructure, Transnet is central to SA Inc.'s ambition to lift freight rail handling capacity to 250 million tons annually from 2030. I know, you know, we've had a number of conversations with the Alstom team. We've been very concerned about the supply chain that has now been built. There's a responsibility on all of us, both Transnet private operators. Let us not allow that supply chain to diminish or to stop growing, because it is through that supply chain that we have now been successful in building, that we have to continue to build it so that we can continue to create jobs for our people. And again, which is why we are here, and what I always repeat, what we need to move people out of poverty. So the Transnet Reinvent for Growth, we call it R4G strategy. Through it, we are building a modern organization that is well positioned to grow the South African economy through reliable service, safer operations, and better financial performance. The country looks to Transnet to support broad industrial development in key commodity segments. The strategy repositions us to better serve our customers and key supply chains such as mining and manufacturing, increasing locomotive availability, unlocks capacity, enabling transit freight rail to sustainably handle increased volumes. And of course, we have embraced and we will continue to support the new operators as they start participating in this network. So central to our efforts to revitalize Transnet and to make this organization better are these partnerships with the private sector, which are instrumental in the realization of our strategic objectives. So by leveraging private sector participation opportunities, we are making progress to improve efficiency and reliability of critical infrastructure. The reinvention of the freight logistics system requires resources, expertise, and innovation. I have a father, I call him a father, who sits in the National Treasury, the Minister of Finance, who's been giving me a very tough time. He has decided that Transnet needed tough love. But oftentimes I am reminded by, certain tidbits of the kind of things that he says. So the first time people were asking, are you going to give Transnet any money? And he said, we are not going to be, it's not about rebuilding Transnet. It's about rebuilding the logistics system of the country, of which we know as Transnetters we are a critical part, right? And we continue to play that critical role. So today's celebration of this milestone is a manifestation of the Transnet commitment to modernize and enhance freight capacity through sustained and focused investment in rail infrastructure assets. So for every person in this organization, this moment should be a source of immense collective pride. The launch is a validation that when we set our minds to a challenge, we deliver lasting solutions. And by the way, it's the South African way. We are a resilient country, and despite what gets thrown at us, we all come from environments. I can tell you, if you go back to that environment today, people look, they can't believe what the people in Transnet has achieved. We did not start off where we are now. So we know what it means to endure and to keep going at it. The environment that we operate in, very important, without trust, it's going to be very difficult for us to go anywhere. Our customers rely on us to move their goods safely, quickly, and reliably. And this investment, therefore, affirms our commitment to performance, ensuring that our customers' goods arrive on time and all the time. The project provides us with an opportunity to leverage our procurement spend to promote economic access for previously disadvantaged groups by creating, again, coming back to the importance of the supply chain, consistent demand, and enabling local companies to expand their capacity and capabilities, as well as prioritizing South African source materials and services. I would like to thank everyone for making this day possible. To our very hardworking 50,000 odd Transnetters in the trenches every day, in the elements, trying their best. When he showed you that map that exists, those are people who are struggling every day to keep the trains moving. Yes, sometimes we have some individuals who think that they can make it difficult for us. We fix those lines that people cut and we keep going. And we will keep going. And for me, it's about applauding every single person here. Let's continue to celebrate. It is important. Our people need to understand that this country depends on them. Our organized labor partners, you know, you are there for us all of the time. Keep our people motivated and let them understand that, the sun is shining and it will continue to shine. So thank you very much from my side. And again, when Transnet works, South Africa thrives.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you look at your watches, it's exactly. So when we say we thrive to deliver on time, it's exactly visible right now in this room. So definitely with the R4G, Transnet is moving from good to great. And to tell us about that, Dr. Andilisa.
Colleagues, greetings to you all. And I must say that I'm going to say let's stand on all the protocols that have been observed. I want just to say to my colleagues, it's wonderful to be here this morning. And indeed, it's been a long journey, Bessie. One of the things that I really like about today is what I always say to my team is just doing what we have said we are going to do. We met here in January and we took a decision that we must come and meet at some point when we roll out that 200 locomotive and celebrate that. That's what we have promised ourselves, and this is exactly what we are doing. And I really believe that if that could be the ethos that we imbue and embed in everything that we do, we'll go very far, as people and as a nation, as a company. So I just want to start there and say thank you very much for this day. It means a lot to me, and I'm very glad that we're here today. The second point I want to talk about is our colleagues from the media. I want to thank you because in all of our events, in all of our critical milestones, you've been here for us. You've always been unwavering, and you've always supported us, and you've always wanted to make sure that whatever it is that we want to see being covered, that you actually make the effort to make sure that the message does go out and that the news indeed get covered. So we don't want that to go unnoticed and unrecognized. So thank you very much for taking the time to do that. It really gives me a great pleasure to witness the launch of the 200th locomotive, which marks a significant milestone in our effort as Transnet to modernize and expand our rolling stock capabilities. The lack of locomotives due to inability to secure parts and maintenance for a large number of our fleet has indeed impacted the ability of Transnet to deliver on its mandate and support the country's economy through efficient freight transportation. Investment in modern, reliable assets to drive operational efficiency and financial recovery is very central pillar of the Reinvent for Growth strategy, which is our roadmap to transform Transnet from recovery to long-term sustainable growth. And the lack of locomotive availability for the longest time has been a critical bottleneck to our aspirations, and it has been one of our major systemic constraints for Transnet. At the center of the challenges with our locomotives has been the 1064 locomotive procurement program, incomplete delivery, lack of spare parts and maintenance contracts, and the protracted legal impasse with the CRRC over critical spare parts and maintenance support. And these are some of the challenges which we have experienced with this contract. And on the back of all of this has been us being forced to rely on an aging fleet, which has hampered the ability and the reliability of the fleet over the years. As a result, and to the detriment of some of our customers, TFR volumes for bulk commodities such as coal, iron ore, and manganese have plummeted over the years. Contrary to our mandate to enable economic growth, our inability to move the desired volumes cost the South African economy billions of rand in lost revenue and significantly contributed to South Africa's muted economic growth. We reached new lows when our annual freight volumes dipped to 149.5 million tons in 2023, which is a far cry from the 227 million tons that we railed in 2015. It is, however, worth noting that our volumes have started to improve steadily in the past 2 years, with TFR moving 151.7 million tons in the 2023-24 financial year, and that number going up to 160.1 million tons in the 2024-25 financial year. We also have to be honest and say that the maintenance backlog continues to be a long-standing issue that affects the reliability of our rail infrastructure. Years of significant underinvestment in crucial maintenance has had a crippling effect on our assets due to frequent breakdowns and derailments, while vandalism and theft of infrastructure, especially copper, has diverted resources from maintenance to replacement of infrastructure. However, I'm pleased that our enhanced security measures and collaboration with key stakeholders, such as the SAPS, are starting to pay off. In the year 31 March 2025, Transnet recorded 6,345 security incidents, which is a 23% year-on-year decline from the 8,234 that we experienced in the 2023-24 financial year. TFR accounted for more than 90% of the incidents reported. Cable theft incidents also decreased from 4,400 to 3,501, with a 27% reduction in cable thefts length that has been stolen. We have acknowledged the magnitude of our challenges and took steps to set this organization on a sustainable path, and hence our decision to implement the 18th month Transnet Recovery Plan in October of 2023. And some of the key elements of our recovery journey include commitment to capital expenditure. In the next 5 years, we plan to spend 127 billion rand, with approximately 84.7% of this expenditure earmarked for maintenance and refurbishment of infrastructure. In 2024-2025 financial year, our capital expenditure was 24 billion rand, which points out to our intent to enhance our operational capacity and facilitate future growth. We are encouraged by the recent High Court order compelling China Rolling Stock Corporation, CRRC, to give Transnet access to critical spares. This symbolizes a major victory for accountability and governance. At operational level, this decision paves the way for us to return to service idle locomotives, that boosting TFR's capacity, we can now begin the maintenance and repair work necessary to bring these long-standing locomotives back to service without delay. LeaseCo is another crucial step to enhancing rolling stock availability. While encouraging private sector participation, LeaseCo will drive the acquisition, management, and leasing of rail rolling stock to domestic and regional markets. The establishment of LeaseCo is part of the rail reform program, which seeks to enhance the competitiveness of the South African rail freight system by working to ensure competitive industry supply chains by inviting and crowding in the private sector investments in the process. Increasing the availability of locomotives underpins our strategy of focusing on operational excellence, capacity enhancement, and customer centricity. It is a demonstration of Transnet's renewed vigor under the R4G strategy to pursue excellence, growth, sustainability, while advancing local manufacturing capability, which my colleagues have shared earlier on. Against this backdrop of TFR's undesirable reliance on aged legacy fleets due to non-availability of locomotives from several OEM manufacturers, the R4G strategy prioritizes improving rolling stock availability and operational excellence. I would like us to find a way of solidifying the train manufacturing competence and capabilities that has already been built through the Alstom partnership. I do not want us to lose these manufacturing capability gains. I'd like to see these being embedded and leveraged upon as we continue towards building our own fleet of 23Es going forward beyond the Alstom contractual arrangement. Let me take this opportunity to thank our partners for standing with us with our performance when our performance faltered and the path ahead looked less certain. You stuck with us and engaged in transparent dialogues that made us to become your allies and you becoming our allies. The strategic collaboration with OEMs has been a bedrock in our efforts to re-establish reliable fleet availability. This partnership between Transnet and Alstom boosts the South African freight rail network through a consistent supply of modern locomotives. With every state-of-the-art locomotive, the network becomes more efficient and reliable. So to Alstom, thank you for being part of our success story. As I conclude, I am immensely proud of employees who have demonstrated admirable innovation and skilled engineering. You poured countless hours, expertise, and passion into this project. Your dedication, tenacity, and single-minded pursuit of excellence is what truly drives Transnet recovery and long-term growth. Finally, let me thank everyone who has been part of this event. This occasion is a result of meticulous planning, and I want to extend my deepest gratitude to every individual who contributed to make this day a success. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much. the target of 250 million tons in very, very, very soon is only achievable, Johnny, if you increase the order of wagons. Those wagons need locomotives, and those locomotives are here. So I think if you don't mind, you can look at your time again. So we're trying so much to be on time. We keep on improving. We will have a vote of thanks by our Group Chief Operational Officer, Mr. Soliswalo. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon. All protocol observed. To speak after the chair is not very fair. But I just want to say, imagine if the 1064 was all produced in TE. Yeah? Can you imagine where we would be now? Imagine if all of the rolling stock or the trains in Prasa were produced by TE. Or imagine even their locomotives that termed the high locomotives were produced by TE. Obviously, they wouldn't be high. They would be on spec. So we definitely have lost opportunities, and we've managed to gain that with the little work that we've done. But I've learned something, by the way. Who of you know what ECP stands for? ECP? Huh? Let me see a hand, at least for somebody that knows. Very few people. I've learned the new word. Electronically controlled pneumatic braking system. I only learned it from these locomotives that were manufactured now, and I know it's being fitted to the others that are now in operation. So my duty is simple, not to waste too much time. Really want to thank the hundreds of employees in TE and your leadership for this, including our partners, Alstom. Thank you very much for the work that you've done, and you will continue doing, by the way. TE employees, you need to be optimistic that another order is coming that will keep this going. But thank you for all of the dedication. Imagine, from 3 a month to 10 a month. I mean, if you think of productivity increases, it's unbelievable. And hearing my queen, thank you very much, expressing Russell's thanks for these locomotives. I mean, it just shows that the customer is delighted with the performance of the locomotives and the service that you've given in manufacturing these locomotives. And all of the work that has been done by all of you, we really appreciate it. And obviously, we thank our leadership. Michelle, Chairperson, thank you very much, and for supporting and this team, obviously under the leadership of Bessie. She's the whipping girl of Transnet. And I think today you've proven that leadership really works. And thank you for enduring under the tough times. Titi, I know that you and team have been supporting Bessie very well, and I really want to thank you for carrying on. And again, I say, be optimistic, because what you've done now has created and opened doors for what the MC keeps happening. I don't know why you keep talking to one customer when you should be talking to many, many more customers. So you're going to end up selling to one customer if you don't change it. But thank you for the way you've handled the occasion today. We're all on time, and I'm not going to waste that time. Really, my job was very simple, to say we've come here to celebrate. We've come here to pay thanks to everything that has been achieved and more that is still coming. Thank you. Let's enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for making time. We really, really appreciate your presence today. I think the moment where we have to do what exactly we're here for today, to see the marvel, to see the product that keeps TFR working, that keeps TFR happy as our primary client and the end user of this product. I think just to add on a couple of areas of concern or areas that needs to be adhered to, as we're going to be leaving to the plant tour, We really, really, really appreciate that not everybody is going to be accommodated. But I'm going to leave that to Mawande just to take us through what that is required for us to be able to have our route into the workshops. Mawande?
Thank you, Program Director, and greetings to everyone. Might I also say all protocols observed. Well, mine is simple. We are now done with the formalities. I'm now going to earn you some miles, some steps for the day, so you don't have to do the gym tonight. We're going to go to the workshop. So you've seen in presentation all the good stuff that's been done by the teams on the ground. So how about we meet the teams on the ground and we see how they do what has been presented. So just a few notes for you to take. Bongi has covered the safety brief. It is a heavy engineering environment that we're going to be going to. So there are overhead crane movements. We didn't stop the people and say, stop, wait, people are coming. So they are working. So you're going to be going into a workshop environment. We've got overhead cranes, we've got forklifts, we've got rail lines sometimes on the floor where you'll be moving. So just please be vigilant as we go through, and I'll keep reminding you of this before we enter all the workshop space. Then in front of you, you've got a set of earplugs. Our facilities are deemed noise zones, so we do expect that we enter there, just have a set of earplugs. But because we'll also be taking you on a tour, we've got headsets that we'll be giving you, which I suppose will double up as earplugs, because you'll then be hearing us take you through the tour. On your seat, you've got a reflector vest. We've made provision for everyone to have a reflector vest. Please grab that. And I'm hoping that everybody here has got safety boots or at least closed shoes. If you're not wearing closed shoes, I'm going to disappoint you and ask that you not join us in the tour, because we will not be able to enter our workshop facilities. Another important point, because I do understand the team around the table here are busy people and we take calls from time to time. We have, as part of our safety cardinal rules, we have a 0 cell phone usage in the workshops. And so I just want to remind you, as we go into the workshops, you are not going to be allowed to take any call. If you do have a call, there will be safety marshals that'll help you out, and you are free to take your call outside of the workshop, and then you can rejoin the team. The workshops have got red and green areas that are demarcated. The green area is where I'm expecting all of us to stick to. That's the walkways. The red areas are the working areas, so please don't find yourself in the working area. You will just follow us and stick to the green areas. Other than that, we've got transport that is provided downstairs, which will help this move much quicker. Otherwise, you would have to walk the entire plant. And when I do that on a day-to-day basis, it's about 12,000 steps, which covers just over 9 kilometers. So we will spare you that for today. We've got kumbis downstairs. If I may ask, as we leave, we will not take kumbis directly from this boardroom. I will lead you to the first stop, which is Bay 60, where we will cover the fabrication, the machining and cutting and preparations of plate for our TRAXX 23E bogies. From there, we will then go to Bay 1, where we will see the fabrication of the bogie frame, and ultimately we will end our tour at the local assembly base. So you are free to leave all your stuff here. It is safe. We will make sure the venue is locked. And at this point in time, our ICT colleagues will help you just to distribute the headsets that we're going to be utilizing through the tour. I'm going to ask that all our visitors be prioritized in terms of the headset. I do believe they should fit everyone, but we'll prioritize our visitors, and the TE colleagues, as good hosts, will prefer our visitors to take the headset. If, as they're distributing the headset, and I'll take you through it before we enter the bay as well, it should be on channel 2. So if you've got a headset, you'll just have a look at it. There's a small screen, an analog screen in the front. It should be reflecting 2. If it's not reflecting 2, you'll just, you just let us know. They should already be set to 2. Then number 2, that gray wheel on the front of it is for you to adjust the volume. We'll do a test of all of this before we enter the the workshops. So for now, colleagues, that is it for the formalities. Please join me as we go through to the workshops. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the walk and it was worth it. I'm going to ask the chairperson of the Transnet board, Dr. Sandile, and the group chief executive, Advocate Michelle, to cut the ribbon for us. Yeah. Basie and Tristan, can you please join Michelle and Andile? I'm going to make a count from 3 to 1. Three, 2, 1. We can move this side. Yeah. Yeah, and the other one. And the other one. Roll it this side. The door will be opening now, and we'll see that miracle we're here for. Now,
let's introduce the loco and then let's introduce the loco push up.
ladies and gentlemen, I know you're all excited. Let's settle a little bit down to see another miracle happening.
From the past, born again at last, to rumble over mountains and the plains. From the golden age of steam, an engine seldom seen by those who never lived in bygone days. Big Boy was her name and went on the railroad fame as the largest engine on the UP line. The last of all her class, she survives from out the past to show the power of steam in modern time. Roll on, big boy, roll on, big boy, rumbling across the northern plains. Roll on, big boy, roll on, big boy, climbing up the Wasatch Mountain range. In 1959, they took her off the line and wrote her off as progress over time. No dry could be found in jungles or in towns where once Big Boy had rolled in her prime. From the junkyards of the past, 4014 is the last to carry on the legacy of steam.
Good afternoon, everybody. Okay, is it not loud enough? I don't know. Good afternoon. This works better. Good afternoon, everybody. For those who don't know me, my name is Besisipwe Mabunda. I am the Chief Executive of Transnet Engineering. There are no words to express what we are celebrating here today. I mean, Locomotive 200, but we are on our way to actually finally completing the delivery of the order of 240 TRAXX 23E locomotives. So I just want to say thank you so much to every single one of you who put hard work, who put sweat, who made sacrifices to make sure that this happens. I mean, when I joined TE last year, I think it was on the 12th of May, the first thing that I did on that Monday was to actually come out to this plant, to come and see what you were doing, how you were doing it. At that time, there were probably 200 and something of you doing the work. It wasn't looking like this. I mean, we were just reflecting with Tristan because we came together with Alstom to come and see. It wasn't looking as busy. It wasn't looking as clean. It wasn't having the hype of activities that it actually have. And in fact, I had to have difficult conversations with the leadership team at the time to ask them, what is it that we can do to improve the throughput of this plant? Unfortunately, there were people who then said, we can't do anything. There's no amount of people you can throw at this project that will change the trajectory we were on. And at that time, we were delivering 2 locomotives a month. And I said, no, there's no way. If you cannot see beyond your own limitations because you are too close and you have developed blind spots, I will help you see, because I'm coming from external to the T environment. In fact, I was coming from TFR. I was the customer. And I told them, you were delivering these 2 locomotives a month to me, and it's not acceptable. We can do better. I just want to thank the leadership that was with me that day from this plant, who could see the vision, who were willing to basically introspect and check themselves to say what it is that we can do to do better. And they were willing to make a change. Now we have another 300 and odd individuals that have joined. We've changed the layout. We put continuous improvement initiatives in terms of the plant. And this is what we have achieved. That tells me that the men and women of Transnet Engineering, when we put our minds to it, when we work together, not only just us as an internal team, but we work together with our partners, we can do the impossible. So please give yourselves a round of applause. I had a young lady who said if the food hasn't arrived by now, it's a problem. So I'm not gonna I'm not gonna spend long. I just also want to thank the leadership that believed in us. We come from a little bit of a difficult past. These are steps that we are taking to show that if you believe in us, you trust in us, and you give us that little bit more, we can give you a great deal more. And we've done so today. So thank you, everybody. I'm seeing the T-shirts. I'm loving the T-shirts. It's wonderful. So please just know from the bottom of my heart how grateful I am and how appreciative I am of the sweat, the commitment, and the hard work that you keep giving to this project. It will probably come to an end in June next year, but we are working very hard. We brought the customers. Johnny, he's the local victim. Apparently he's the one who signs things. So we are hoping that we can then see more coming out of this plant. Well done, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Bessie. This is a good job. Even nature was celebrating with us. So congratulations to everybody being involved in this. We planning to get more, and we're going to get more. So I'm going to request the Group CEO, Chairperson, the Group CFO, representative Alstom for the and for the members of the meeting, please can they be done? And thank you so much for those who came from the boardroom. We're going to thank you so much. Mr. Colin Mupenar. Oh, just Colin. Umqembu uphelile. So for esteemed employees, you probably need to go back